what's up? It's the Gaming Balls. It's Keith and Tyler here, and today was the Call of Duty Ghosts multiplayer review. They managed to talk about this multiplayer for an hour, which seemed a little interesting, I thought, because I will admit a lot of it was a lot of the same old stuff. You actually listened to quite a bit of it, so I'll let you go first, because I just watched the stuff.
Yeah. I was listening to it before I got the blue screen of death on my computer. So there's this new squads mode. There's a total of 7 new modes in multiplayer, and squads is kind of part of it. Squads replaces Spec Ops. Squads, there's a whole bunch of modes in it. Basically, survival modes in it. It's called Safeguard now, but one thing I think is cool about it is, when you played Survival in Modern Warfare 3, your XP for that multiplayer were different. Now it's 1, which is kind of neat. And then there's other things such as, you get 5 of your friends and you play against 5 really advanced bots, and the bots now act like human players. They'll do all the really, cheapo, annoying shit that, even myself does, camping, drop shotting, wall banging,
Halo
what
jumping.
the fuck ever, which is kind of cool. At least it'll be possibly satisfying, unlike other like combat drones. And then there's just other modes where you can. One's just basically like team deathmatch or something. It's just your squad against another squad. What the fuck ever. And there's another one that I can't recall right now. Search and rescue might replace search and destroy. They didn't say, but it's a new search and destroy in ways. Basically, once you die in a round, you can get revived because you drop a tag, and your teammate can pick it up, or if someone else on the other team grabs it, then you're done for the round, or whatever. Which is kind of cool. It makes it fast paced, but at the same time, it might not be as intense. Thrilling and rewarding, to be the last guy, and there's 3 other guys. But Cranked is another new mode. Cranked is basically you get a kill, you become more powerful, and if you don't get a kill within a certain amount of time, you blow up. Which is kind of funny. There's these new dynamic maps. That, like, you can blow up a gas station and it'll create new cover, and it'll kill people. You can blow through certain walls, you can knock a train off the ledge or some shit. Yeah, we'll get into that later. There's, you can, instead of, just creating a class, you now create a soldier. Each soldier, you can have 10, you can customize how it looks, you can customize the class. And there's one thing that's cool is that there's a very, the customization now is extremely deep, more deep than ever. There's, how many perks did they say? Like 30 or something? There's a shitload of perks. There's a whole new weapons class called Marksman, which is basically just semi-autos like M14s and stuff. You can play as females. What else was there? There's no death streaks. There's new kill streaks. You can get the dog that they showed off to be your bodyguard. There's no longer an air-based UAV. They said they're trying to focus a lot more on ground, which is kind of cool. But the UAV now is something that you have to hide around the map, which makes things more interesting and more tactical. And also, in ways, they're pushing more towards teamwork, which is kind of cool, but I know that won't happen. There'll still be people just,
Lone wolfing it.
Lone wolfing it like Reggie Watts. And, you can only prestige each soldier once, but there's still a total of 10 prestiges. So you prestige this soldier, you move on to the next. Which, if you think about it, actually makes a lot of sense because, you can't become this super soldier in real life or something,
Yeah.
So whatever. And then they just said a lot of community things. There's this thing called Clan Wars where you basically fight, with your clan over a certain, I guess it's a certain map. And that goes on for 2 weeks, and the team with the most points at the end of the 2 weeks wins the war, and it keeps starting. They add new bonuses, you earn experience, they'll add new maps. It's kind of neat. It's kind of like the new League thing in ways from Black Ops 2. What else?
think that's most of it. They pick 10
Something
is
like
kind of
pick
coming
10's
back.
returning. Score streaks are returning. They didn't mention anything of weapon prestiges. There's more weapons.
They're bringing back the assault, support, and specialist score streak packages, so that's cool. Honestly, there's not much else that they revealed, at least that I
There was
saw.
one thing, but I can't think of it.
Maybe we'll think of it a little bit later, so we'll bring it up. So, I guess we'll get to opinions of it. They did Infinity Ward. They met my expectations. I went into this hoping that this would be some kind of big new thing, and they were going to completely reinvent the Call of Duty franchise. And multiplayer was going to be this whole new thing. But then I kind of knew that they wouldn't do that. I mean, people play Call of Duty to play Call of Duty. So, I mean, they're not going to completely change everything. So, I mean, I kind of knew that they at least wouldn't show... Because, like, really all they showed with the destructible environments and whatnot was blowing up a gas station. Which I can understand not showing something huge, because then when something huge does happen in a game, everybody will be like, holy shit. And then I guess they added the one thing where there's a care package hidden in the map somewhere, so you can find that and you get a free kill streak. So that's an interesting way of pushing, maybe, just blowing shit up. So you'll see probably guys just running around just blowing up the environment trying to find this thing. Which, again, like I said, they met my expectations. I feel like they've done a lot of fine-tuning with this. They heard that, people wanted more perks, people wanted more weapons, especially from like Black Ops 2, and they wanted new weapons, not just the same weapons from Modern Warfare 3 or whatever. So almost all the weapons are new, and, have all kinds of new perks, and they just kind of taken everything and made it a little bit better. But it's still the same game, basically, and some people might have a problem with that.
I mean, I was hoping for something completely different, but, I guess I was just hoping for something that, I knew wouldn't happen anyway. But, I mean, some things are pretty cool. I like, what was I going to say? I like some of the, new movements. People might knock on that. But when you play Call of Duty, there's not much that you can change with the controls of the movement. It's already pretty much perfect. The controls, everybody copies Call of Duty's controls because they're so perfect. So there's not a whole lot that you could do with that. I know that, sliding will become the new dolphin diving. It'll be pretty lame, but I'll try to be gay too. I'm not too impressed with the dynamic maps, to be honest with you. I want to see more of it, because to me, blowing up a gas station, look, people are doing that on PlayStation 2. Who gives a shit? It's new for Call of Duty, but it's not new in general. You can go play Battlefield 4 and blow a whole skyscraper. Alright. Okay. There was something else. The squads mode, I'm not too impressed with either. I wish they would have made, Spec Ops, but, maybe made it 4-player and made it more, dynamic and more interesting and all that stuff. But maybe squads is something that, you gotta try to get into. It's something that you gotta play to really, base your huge opinion on. But for now, I'm not very impressed with it, but I'll certainly give it a shot. One thing that I was really hoping for and that they have done is deeper customization. Because you play past Call of Duties, and yeah, they've been adding more perks, they've been adding the pick 10 systems, which adds a little bit more variety, but everybody is essentially still the same. Everybody still uses the same weapons. Half the perks are still useless, everybody looks the same. So the new customization will really change things up, and each player will truly be unique to their team, which is cool. I think some of the kill streaks are pretty neat. I like what they did with the UAV. I think that's going to be really interesting. And they were saying this one kill streak is like something like Juggernaut. There's Odin's hammer or something.
Something like that.
Something like that. Odin's in the name. Some of them might be, pretty cool. they didn't really show off a whole lot of maps, but what I saw, they looked like Call of Duty maps. Just with the look of them and stuff. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, but I hope these maps aren't queer like Modern Warfare 3's, and it's basically just a run and gun thing. You can't hide anywhere. You can't just take cover and try to snipe people. You have to constantly fucking run around because you'll be flanked from anywhere. I hope they didn't do that. You play Black Ops 2's maps, and yeah, you can camp and stuff, but you'll die eventually. There's ways to get to you, but you can still hide. That's one thing that I really appreciate about Black Ops 2. But yeah, it looks cool. I'll probably get it. But there's some things that maybe I need to play for myself or just see more of. But yeah.
So I guess that's it for this video. What you guys can do, if you have your opinions on this, comment, if you watch this. But,
Battlefield 4 Call of Duty Ghosts, what looks more exciting?
It goes against every, natural fiber of my being, but I'm going to have to say Battlefield 4.
I'm going to say Battlefield 4 as well. It looks more fresh and exciting, possibly.
Alright, so,
I'm sure they'll both be fun.
They'll both be fun. See you guys later. Peace out.